Hello, you incredibly attractive people. Welcome back to another episode of Gratuitous Sets. We're making a PegLeg. We're actually working on 3 games that are all pirate themed, and so a PegLeg has to be part of it. I've got this old poplar dowel, and the reason I chose an old one and not buy a new one is because it's already got the patina that poplar gets, and that is going to work to our benefit. And we're going to cut a chunk of this cedar 4x4, and that'll be the upper section. We need that fatter upper section because there's going to be something hidden inside the leg. And to do that, we need a retaining device to hold that thing in. So you came up with a thing.
Yeah, so I needed to figure out some way to enclose whatever it is we're going to be hiding in there in a way that looks like it actually might be possible to put it inside this PegLeg, nothing sticking up.
And also vintage 1750.
Yeah, exactly. So I came up with this little device here, and we'll get a nice close-up shot of that, and designed this in CAD, and ran out a prototype in MDF, and if all goes well, we'll run up a nice one in brass and patina it all up, and hopefully that'll go well.
We'll make a few small changes to the design, but basically this thing's ready to go. So a couple of little tweaks, and then we'll crank one out of brass. Devin's going to talk to you from over there really quickly in just a moment, but first, we just launched a Patreon, and if you could, click one of those things up there and at least take a look at it. Might be interesting, because we're offering some things that most people don't. Anyway, back to Devin. He's talking about his opening, his aperture, his thing. None of that's right.
After running out the prototype of this thing, it all seems to work pretty well. Mechanically, it all fits just right, but there's still a few changes that we'd like to make. We're going to make the screw holes just a tiny bit bigger so we can use a little bit beefier screw, which also means that this outside diameter is going to be a bit thicker. The only other change we're going to make is we're going to make these little pockets here for the handhold actually go all the way through. So those will be clean cut holes all the way through to make this a little easier to grab onto, because it's a little bit fiddly as it is right now. All right, here's our MDF prototype again of the little locking door, and actually just finished the brass version. All works nice and smooth. Only took us, what, 2 hours to mill out on the CNC machine, but totally worth it. And we'll also be doing some aging on this, and there's that. So you can see all these these 2 little pockets that were milled in here. We had to be sure to really get that depth correct so that it matches up with these little flags on the other side. And that ensures that the depth is all appropriate so that none of this sticks up whenever it's assembled, so that it all sits in there nice and flat.
I roughly drilled this hole, or we let it happen that way. It was really cumbersome with a 2 1/8 inch Forstner bit to try and go in through end grain, even though this is soft cedar. And then I counterbored this side with a 2-inch hole, and then it went in about 1.5 inches deep and glued this guy in. That makes the inside of the hide pocket rustic and rough, which is a good thing. And then to go further with our rustic and rough, I tried murdering it with a chain flail, our famous chain flail. So that stained, a little clear coat on it just so you don't, so the stain doesn't come off on your hands and keep it from looking too dull. And I'm gonna work on a leather skirt that would bind this to said pirate's leg at this point. This is a piece of heavy veg tan leather that I have. I'm gonna use this to make the sock out of. I'm showing you this because veg tan is important. It's not chrome tan. Veg tan allows me to shape it, it allows me to wet it, and it allows me to dye it. You can't do those things with chrome tan leather, so veg tan. I'm gonna age my brass parts now, and to do that, what I do is just take a plastic container, put a minimal amount of water in it just to cover them up, and then Miracle-Gro comes in these little singles watering can packets. It's a larger bag full of those, but these little bastards are great doses for aging brass and copper. So let's do that. First, make sure I get it in my mouth by opening it with such. Failed. Anyway, they're these little blue crystals. And I don't need to make sure that they completely dissolve, but I will swish it around a little bit. We'll do that. Swish it around. They'll basically dissolve overnight, and we'll pull them out, and the real process is gonna happen as they dry, as they air dry. So when you pull them out of the solution, don't wipe them down, just let it evaporate on its own. And as the solution that's left over on them, first of all, will freshen them up, then it'll get more concentrated as it dries, and that's when it will become its most effective. Yay. Beautiful.
So one of the biggest problems with being a pirate is the lack of Phillips head screws. Just say no to slotted screws.
So let's talk about game design for a second. One of the things that we have to realize as designers is that we are teaching people at the same time that they're playing. They're learning stuff about how to play the game, but also we're teaching them how gently you need to touch something to get it to operate. And if we do a good job of that, we help our players stay gentle. If you give them something that they have to force, even if it's just a little bit tricky, you're gonna encourage them to force stuff later on. So by building this mechanism and spending the amount of time we did on it, instead of just some rough clasp, having this really, I mean, it's like butter, machined brass fitting inside this piece, it's a step at creating that sort of almost player trust, where they know that they don't have to force anything. It's if you pull on a little bit and it doesn't go, it's not supposed to. Anyway, so we've got this beautiful, I got the leather thong, that we're gonna leave that in the video. This is technically a thong. It's a leather strap, and we've got it laced up. And if you look in there, you can see that beautiful little bit of brass that's hiding something. This would be the world's most uncomfortable peg leg ever. But, well, Pete was a bit of a douchebag, so we don't really care. Screw that guy. We have a lot more videos coming, so hopefully we'll see you soon. And we're gonna be starting a Patreon because we spend a lot of time shooting videos and editing them and stuff like that. And frankly, with the money we make from YouTube, we make about $100 a month if we're lucky. And that doesn't pay for the time that it takes to put a video together and the time that we spend making these videos. We do it because we love it, but if you could help us out a little bit, that'd be great. So that'll be coming soon as well. Keep an eye out for it, and I'm sure I'll mention it in the future.